What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ask Sir Love. It's your boy, Sir Love, and on this show, I answer questions that you guys submit. So if you have a dope question, leave it in the comments. I'm going to answer the question. Help other people get advice from the video. But let me give you some feedback into what we're getting ready to talk about. So Brandy Alderman Oler sent me a comment 2 years ago that I never got to, and I want to get to it as my goal is to go through all the old comments and all the new comments. So she asked a great question that I think everyone should be asking. How can I get a gig as a business manager or an assistant manager to an artist? I'm young, I'm able to travel, I want to work my way up from the bottom. I just need to know where to start. And I just want to give you some love for first off coming with that type of humility, especially after reading the comment afterward, where the person is basically saying, "Hey, you got to get out there and make it work." Shout out to whoever 23K Goat is for being on the channel and supporting and commenting and getting active. But I want to speak to the humility of this because honestly, if you really want to make it in this game, you really have to spend some time interning, being, working up underneath somebody, being the assistant. I like the fact that you asked to be an assistant first because you want to learn. There's no way you can go in this business or in the world and just learn from a book or learn from a college course or anything of that nature. The way you learn this crap is sitting up under somebody. So the best way to get in is to honestly work for free for somebody else. That's what I did. That's what all the greats that have come before me have done, right? They work for free under somebody because the real is no one wants to stop what they're doing and teach you this, right? I felt like when I was working for free, I was getting my master's in the music business. That's what it felt like because I was going around, I was going and working with T-Pain, I was around Trey Songz, I was around Usher's crew, I was around Tricky Stewart and all those types of people. I got to work with Nitty and see all that type of stuff. Like I got to work in the business. I got to be behind the scenes. I got to be at the concert, backstage. I got to, see the whole process of how from booking the show to doing the show to working the event beforehand, from sound check all the way through. What are all the steps that you do? How do you have a perfect sound check if you've never seen what a perfect sound check looks like, right? And you want to get out here and manage an artist for the first time. How do you negotiate booking deals if you've never heard anyone negotiate booking deals? You don't even know the language or the jargon to use in the conversation, right? Working for free for someone else is the best way to learn how to be a manager, because they're not going to want to teach you this crap for they're just not going to want to teach you this crap. I just put it like that. No one wants to teach you anything. So the way that you learn is by adding a whole lot of value for free to someone that probably doesn't want to teach you nothing, right? And in the process of you adding value, you being around, you taking notes. And I remember I used to go to meetings with the person I ended up being an assistant for, right? Who was a manager. And I would go to the meetings and I had my Blackberries back in the day when Blackberry was hot. I go to the meetings and he'd have a whole meeting and I sit there with my Blackberry because I'm just in the room. I'm a random person in the room. So he's having a meeting with someone else that's extremely important. That person's looking like, who the fuck is this kid and why is this kid here? So I have to look like I'm doing something. So I'm in there typing in every single meeting. At the end of the meeting, I sent him a whole summary, itemized with headers and structured summary of the meeting. His next steps, what he has to do after the meeting, what was talked about in the meeting, who the meeting was with, what was the date, this, that, and the third. Every single meeting, I send that out. Before we left the meeting, as we're walking to the car, I press send and hit his email box, and he have a file that tells him exactly what he needs to do, right? And I had to fix because I had to add value, and he began to look for that. Like, yes, I need this content. Thank you for doing this, right? And then I tried to find new things, and every time I heard a halfway portion of a problem, I go and try to solve it. I go read other books. I go learn from other industries. Well, in the retail industry, to solve a similar problem, they did this. Maybe we should try this, that, and the third. And I will bring new ideas to the company and they go, maybe that would work. You said Starbucks did this? They had a similar problem? Yeah, they did. And they addressed it like this. Maybe we should try it. In the music business, maybe it will work, right? Constantly providing value, right? But you said, how do I get the gig? Right now, I talked about the importance of the gig. I want to talk to you about how you get the gig, right? The way that you get these gigs is, one, you got to be in the spaces where these people are. I can't emphasize that enough. Every time I talk about how do you find the person, you have to be where they are. Will Smith got on Fresh Prince because every single day he stood outside the studio and waited for people to walk in and kept begging and asking people to get a shot. He's Will Smith. He was coming off of the Fresh Prince. He had just had, success in the music industry with gold albums, right? And he's still outside. He done went broke at this point in his career, but he's outside begging people for an opportunity, right? And he ends up getting an audition, and then he ends up being the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? So like you have to be where people are. That's how it works. So where are the local managers, right? Where are the indie artists performing? What is the forum or stage or venue in your city where indie artists come to perform? Right? And when I say indie artists, I mean indie artists at every scale. They could be selling out the local theater. They could be selling out the local, coliseum. Maybe it's something smaller. Maybe it's a smaller venue. Maybe it's a club that has a stage in it and people go and perform there. Bands come and perform there, right? And go to the places where people are actually performing, right? Not necessarily, I mean, you can also get the opportunity in a club where artists are doing walkthroughs and nightclubs, things of that nature. You can get the opportunity there as well, but it's really easy. It's easier to get it in opportunities where artists are actually coming to perform, where they're getting paid, they're moving, they're making things happen, all right? Nightclubs, similar. Work your way into the VIP. If there a club in the local area where all the artists come through, right? This is more hip hop. If artists always come through this particular club to perform, then you need to work at that club for free if you need to, just so you can be around the people that are coming in the door, just so that you can talk to the manager of the artist or the road manager or the booking agent or someone, so that you can ask them and position yourself to work for them for free and show your value. Bring a skill. I take pictures. I do websites. I do so, like, bring a skill, show some value. Come get up underneath them. It's a lot of working for free, right? Charlie, who broke 2 Chainz and Travis Porter and all sorts of people, who's doing all sorts of amazing things right now, giving back to the community. Started off working for free for Soulja Boy, right? You think about the guy that was it, the guy that managed Ice Cube and NWA and them. It was Tupac's manager was interning for, darn, who was it? He was interning for either Digital Underground or for NWA or something like that, right? I know that Outkast manager, he was no, the guy, there's a huge manager in the game who used to be Outkast road manager. Like when I sit back and I'm spitting, I'm like thinking in real time, right? But like as I think about every person that's a dope manager, they were someone else's understudy first, right? And that understudy stewardship happened for free. And it happened when they were young enough to take a risk where they could do free. And then I've actually seen grown people, 30 something years old, take a risk and go out there and work for free. And then turn around and become the VP of a major PRO company, right? And at 30 something years old, getting coffee and being disrespected and pretty much being pledged and hazed like a athlete or someone that's pledging for fraternity. I mean, that's pretty much kind of what happens. I used to go get coffee and motherfuckers didn't even drink coffee. They just made me get it for fun and shits and giggles. And I had a car, so it was always sending me to the store for this, sending me to the store for that. Go buy blunts, go buy, blunt wraps, go buy sodas. This person wants a honey bun. This person wants this person wants that. Like it was whatever it took. Why? Because I wanted to be in the room when the executives came in and talked, and I got to hear how they thought, how they think. I got to hear the conversation about why Usher needed Moving Mountains, why the record needed a visual. Because, when Dream and Tricky had to pitch it, like, hey, the label didn't get the record. It was like, I don't understand Moving Mountains. I don't get it. Like, and they had to pitch the visual with the song to make the label go, oh, okay, so the video will make more sense, right? The Same Girl record was pitched. They pitched the song and why we should get a budget for the song based off of how the visual would come across. With Usher and R. Kelly and 2 videos and The Same Girl. And like, you there's no way you learn this type of crap if you're not in the room. And so you spend weeks and weeks and weeks of doing free grunt work to have one moment in the room with greatness. And that one moment made all those weeks make sense. And then you do it again. And you have a moment and you do it again. And those moments add up. And then after a while, the people around you start saying, hey, man, you've been busting your ass. You've been doing more than everyone else. You're not like all the other interns. They start bringing you in more rooms. So instead of one moment, you're having 4 or 5 moments, 6, 7 moments. Next thing you know, every day is a fucking moment. And you're just learning and you're soaking it all up. And then the people around you start giving you opportunities to go get money off of their brand, off of their name, or off of their relationships. They're like, hey, yeah, we're at the studio. Matter of fact, this room is yours. Anyone that you bring in the studio, you get paid off this room. You know what? How about this? We doing South by Southwest. We got a stage. You can go out there and sell 4 stage slots to whoever you want, to however much you want. And you're going to come down to South by Southwest with us for free. Oh, you want an opportunity? We're doing this event, whoever you want to bring it. Like, they start giving you looks and plays and ways for you to go out and hustle and make more money. And in the process of doing that, you realize I have leverage, and you start negotiating as a boss instead of as a peon, and you start to move different, you start to grow different, right? You start to understand who you are and and what your value is, and how you offer value to other people, and what your connections mean. And now you're not interning, now you're actually in the game. And then you just grow and you keep growing. And people will always know you as where you started. And they'll respect it because it's like hazing. It's like a fraternity. It's like basketball or any other sport. People see your growth and they respect it because they went through it too. No one respects the person that comes through and didn't have to go through the shit that they went through. They look at you like, we'll see how long you last. But when they watch you grind and work your way up, they're like, okay, I see you. I respect you. They respect you from afar and never say shit to you. 5 years later, they're like, yo, let's do a deal. That's how this shit works. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you for asking this question. Sorry it took 2 years to give you an answer, but hopefully you're watching this channel, you can get this answer. Hopefully you've made some growth in your career over the past 2 years. Reach out to me, 404-442-4792. Send me a text message, Brandy, and we'll hop on a call because this was a great question, and I just feel the empathy through the computer. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you like this video, if it gave you value, so that other people can see it. The more likes I get, the more they share my content, the more other people discover me, the more I get to help other people win. I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little and a little bit about a lot. I'm always trying to give you guys everything that I got right here on Phase 6. Leave your question in the comments and tell me. Let me know. Do you yourself find yourself, do you feel like internships are the way to go? How do you feel about working for free? Are you willing to work for free? Let's have a work for free debate. Should we even work for free? Let's do that in the comments. I'd love to see your thoughts, man. I'm Sir Love, and I'm out.